Hi, I'm Sarah Hammaker, Crosswalk.com contributing writer. Today I'm going to walk you through my article, 8 Ways to Encourage Your Unemployed Loved Ones. Personally, my family has been through unemployment several times in the last couple of years. My husband, who was the main breadwinner of our family, lost his job in August 2019. He got a job in June 2020 that lasted 6 months, and then he was unemployed for another 9 months. And during that time, it was a stressful time, but God was really good and gracious to us. And I want to share with you some of the ways that we were encouraged, and that I hope that you can take to encourage your unemployed loved ones as well. Pray for the entire family. Unemployment doesn't just impact the person who lost their job. It impacts their spouse, it impacts their children, it impacts their pets, it impacts everyone in their family. So please remember to encourage the whole family and to pray for the whole family. Please don't post unemployment memes. When the second time my husband was unemployed, there was still talk of got some stimulus money, you got a little extra in your unemployment check because of the stimulus related to the pandemic. And some people just posted memes that were just not helpful, like just go get a job. Now, my husband would have loved to just gone and get a job, but there wasn't a job that would fit his skills and that would be able to provide for our family. So please don't post things that are just negative or make fun of people who are unemployed, because it's not helpful in that environment. Don't point out the statistics. The unemployment rate is really low right now. That's not helpful if you're the one who's lost their job. So please stay away from pointing out that this is a good time to find a job because unemployment's so low. Well, no, it doesn't necessarily mean that for everyone. Ask how that person is doing, not how the job hunt is going. I found it very comforting when my husband was out of work for them just to say, hey, how are you doing? How are you hanging in there? Rather than, how's the job hunt? Does he have any interviews? Is anything positive happening in that? You can ask occasionally, but I would take your cue from the person who's unemployed about how to ask about that. Continue to invite the unemployed out. One dear friend of mine would call and say, okay, come on, we're going out for ice cream. It was so nice to be invited out of the house, when I know many other friends may have thought, well, she can't afford that, I don't want to put her in that position. Be generous with your unemployed friends and their families. Make sure that you're like, hey, can I buy you a coffee? Can we go for a walk? Think of things that don't cost money, but you're able to spend time with them. Hey, can I come over and help you rake your leaves or mow your grass or clean your kitchen? They may be able to do those things, but being unemployed, there's a lot of stress, and anything you can do to relieve that stress would be great. Be careful what you say about finding work. I had a friend comment like this, from another friend of mine, ironically named Sarah as well. At a women's Bible study group at church, I asked for prayer that my husband would find a job, and I shared a little bit of the struggle of my unemployment. More than one person asked why my husband didn't still get a job flipping burgers at a fast food restaurant. He could have done that, Sarah says, but it would not have made our financial situation any different, because that would have been about the same as he was receiving for unemployment at the time. And I think you need to realize that, yeah, you could go get a job out there, but it would maybe take you away from, maybe the job would take you away from dinner time with your family and other things, and it really wouldn't give you any more money than you were getting from unemployment. And it also may ironically hurt you if you're not trying to get a job in that industry. So be careful that you're not saying that the person is lazy or unmotivated when you talk about finding work. Tangibly bless the family, and I cannot emphasize this enough. If you have a couple extra bucks, give it to the family in some way. One Christmas, when my husband was first out of work, we received an anonymous holiday card in the mail, and inside were 10 $100 bills. Yes, somebody sent us anonymously $1,000. I literally burst into tears in my kitchen. I was so blessed by that. It was as if God reached down and said to me, I care about you. I see you. I see the hurt you're going through. And I put you on someone else's heart to bless with that money. We've received gift cards. We've received grocery cards, sometimes anonymously. Sometimes we knew the person who sent it. And we have done that in the past. We have sent checks to friends and money by PayPal to friends who or family who were going through a tough time financially, whether they were out of work or circumstances meant that they didn't have the money for a major car repair, or they needed to move and they didn't have the money to do that so they could get a better job and a better housing situation. Be generous. It feels weird to accept that from family and friends, but know that you're receiving that now as the unemployed person who needs that help, and you can be generous once again. Rejoice with them. There was much to be thankful for during our time of unemployment. To this day, I don't know how our checking account balanced and we weren't in the red. I honestly, the math didn't make sense because it was God's math, and we were very grateful for that. So rejoice with them when they share those stories. Like that $1,000 that came, we shared with some people. Like I said, I don't want to know who sent it, but I am so grateful that it came because it shored up our faith. So make sure that you tell people how God is blessing you, even in the middle of your struggles. We need to stay the course when a loved one is unemployed, or a family friend is unemployed, or a church member that we know is unemployed. Decide to be the faithful encourager, and you can be that positive light in that person's life.